Hello, my beauties. I just wanted to jump on today and give you a bit of truth. And so the truth is we are imperfectly perfect. And I mean that. I mean that to the deepest sense of that it's true. The truth will set you free, but any darkness that is in anyone, I guarantee it's in you somewhere deep down inside. And in my later videos, I'll actually explain the quantum physics and what that actually means. But I just want you to know, no matter what you have done in this world, whether you've made mistakes, whether you can see the bad choices that you're making, yet you continue to make them, there is actually a reason for that, and that is called subconscious. But the thing about your subconscious is awareness is key, and you can make it conscious and you can make different choices. It is so important. As a mum of 4 kids, I know the importance of raising kids. And the thing is that we don't quite understand that a child's subconscious and their programming, it actually starts in the womb, and there is scientific research to back this up. And so how a mum feels when she's pregnant, and when I was pregnant, and I can tell you this from experience. So I have 4 kids, and I've watched my kids who, and this will make me a little bit emotional, but my kids are my true masters. They are my inspiration, 100%, because they are pure innocence when they're born. We teach people to be not okay with who they are, but you look at a child, and a child, they don't have judgment yet. We program judgment into people. So what you need to understand is that you're imperfectly perfect. Even though you make mistakes and you make the wrong choices and you potentially self-sabotage yourself. And let me tell you, I am the queen of that. I have done that. It was my greatest fear to have a broken home and a broken family. And I manifested that. And if you even just take a second to look back at your life, because awareness is key, I guarantee that you will see that often your greatest fear will become your reality. And that's because we place attention on our greatest fears. We need to get back to being childlike, which means we need to get back to that ability to make a mistake without it ruining our lives. I have made many mistakes in my life, and I'm sure I'll continue to make many more. But the thing is, there is no such thing in reality. In true reality, there is no such thing as a mistake. It's an opportunity to learn and grow. How boring would life be if we didn't make mistakes? You would not watch a movie if the movie was just pleasant. If you turned on a movie and nothing interesting happened, there was no adversity, it was just happiness the whole time. You need fear to grow. And not just fear, but there's a difference between pain and struggle. So we're all going to go through episodes of pain. We're all going to go through difficulty. That is literally a part of life. But if you can teach yourself to find the positive in everything, then I guarantee you, like fucking guarantee, that you'll be able to change your mindset so you become literally untouchable. Yes, bad things will happen, bad things. And I say bad things like that because there is no bad. It is all good. You tell me an experience in your life where something that bad has happened, and I will give you an example from my life. It was my greatest fear that I would be like my family. So I grew up where my dad left when I was quite young. So abandonment issues, we've all got those. And in later videos, I'll tell you why. But so I had the perfect life, literally the picture perfect life. And I self-sabotaged that because those abandonment issues are so deep that when we focus on what our greatest fear was, and my greatest fear was that someone would leave me. I couldn't understand why someone would love me because in my head I felt so fucked up. And I'm sure that there's a lot of other people out there who can relate to this and feel this, because no one knows you. No one truly knows you except for you. We put on all these masks for society. We can smile and play, play nice, play the happy, perfect person, but no one knows you except for you. And the problem is, sometimes in life we put on those masks so frequently that we get to the point where we don't know ourselves. And that's what happened to me. I had no idea who I was, and I fucking blew up my life. Like, my ex-husband and I like to call us still friends, and he's a beautiful person. And whilst I regret the fact that I hurt him, I also know that it was a massive learning curve, and it's exactly where I'm meant to be so that I can share this stuff with you guys, so that you never feel unworthy just because of the choices that you've made, because there is always an underlying reason behind those choices. And often that underlying reason is fear. We need to understand that there is nothing to be afraid of in this world. Yes, we are taught so often that we should fear so many things, but how does fear help us? Honestly, ask yourself, in this very moment, when you're watching this podcast episode or video, whatever you want to call it, if you just take 1 second to take a deep breath, are you honestly okay? And the fact of the matter is, yes, you are. If you have the time and the space to watch this video, you're fucking fine. I promise you, you're fine. In this very now moment, you are fine. But the problem is, we focus all of our attention on the future or the past, not this now moment. In this now moment, you are giving me your attention, and I am so appreciative of that. But you are giving me this attention, and I'm sure, and I guarantee, because I know you, because you are me, and I will teach you that. I will teach you to remember that you are fine. You are okay. You are not dying. I don't care what your bank account says. I don't care what someone thinks about you. I care about you as a person, because you as a person are me as a person, and you are fine. So take a deep breath, and I'll do it with you. Take a deep breath with me now. So in through your nose, and then just drop into your heart. So breathe into your nose, and this is 100% something from the Heart Math Institute, and you can look that up. So if you learn to create heart-mind coherence, so our heart actually is like a separate brain, and I will get into this in future videos, but our heart actually has neurological cells the same as what our brain does, and it elects an electromagnetic field. And you can look at Joe Dispenza's stuff, he is amazing in terms of his research on stuff. And you can learn to start changing your reality by really recognizing that in every moment, you're actually fine. And I hold space for you. I don't give a shit what you have done. I don't care if you've abused drugs, if you've cheated, if you've got an issue with aggression, if you fucking murdered someone, if you just please everybody in your day because you like to avoid conflict. I do not care. I do not care what you do. I see you as a person, and I am here to hold space for you as a person. I understand that everyone makes mistakes, but if people never made mistakes, as a society, we would never learn and we would never grow. So we need to stop looking at mistakes as a bad thing and start looking at them as an opportunity to grow, learn, and evolve. Because life was not meant to be like this. And I know the people who stumble across my videos know and have this feeling within themselves that life was not meant to be like this. We were not essentially meant to be like a slave race where we work for the man, you know, we have a tiny little bit of pleasure here and there, and we grow old and we die. It actually makes no sense, think about it, that we spend all of our years of health and fitness giving to someone else and not to ourselves. And then in our years of decay, when our bodies are starting to give out on us, we literally sit and rot. That makes no sense. We have got things backwards. And I'm not the only one who thinks like this. I know because I feel it. I know that there's people at this point who are going to click off this video and think she's fucking nuts and crazy. But I also know that there's people who aren't. I know that there's people who are like, do you know what? You're kind of right. And I feel it. And what I want to do is teach you the balance of how to be in this world, but not of this world. So when things happen to you, yes, they might appear to the ego shit, but you're not going to die. Like, people are going to dislike you, but that's on them. That is not on you. I will teach you to remember how to respond and not react, because there is a very big difference between responding and reacting. If you react, it is based on an emotion. And that's something that I'm going to get into potentially later this week. So there's a study that was done, and this is how I'm just going to backtrack a little bit. And I know this is a little bit of a random video, but this is who I am, and I'm happy with who I am. So what happened is my whole world blew apart, and I'm a very logical person, and I felt all these emotions, I felt all this stuff, and I just thought, and I kind of headed towards like down that spirituality, connected to oneness path, and I couldn't understand logically why. Like, it made no sense. I used to make fun of my friends who put their crystals in them, in the moon to charge them up and all the rest of it. And then I stumbled across some works, and the thing is, we are all the same. So they did a study on emotions, and where we feel stuff, and that will be my next video. If you stay tuned, I'll do a specific video on that. But essentially, we're all the same. We're different avatars. So yes, our physical bodies might look different, we sound different, but you cut us open, we all bleed red blood, we're all the same. And the thing is, we all actually feel the same. And so when I feel anxiety, I feel my heart start to race, and I can imagine where it is in my body. Depression, for example, you've got low energy in your arms and your legs, which is why people that have depression have real trouble getting out of bed. And awareness is key. If you start to become aware of what you are feeling, instead of just reacting on what you're feeling, then you can literally start to take control of your reality and take control of yourself and not do the shit like... So I did cheat on my ex-husband for a significant period of time. And I understand now why I did it. And it was largely to do with my upbringing. And it is no excuse. I understand that it's a choice. But if you are unconscious to the reasons why you're doing things, is it really a choice? And so this is why awareness is key. If you start paying attention to why you do things, then you will literally start being able to change why you do things. And I've seen this in my own life, and it's not an overnight thing. This is the thing. There are so many things out there that tell you, meditate, and I've done magic mushrooms. I've been to retreats and done all sorts of stuff. But the thing is, it's not an overnight solution. It does take time, because you think about how long it took you to get to this feeling of complete and utter lostness. It took time. And like you look at babies, for example, and I use my children as my absolute biggest masters in this world. Kids come into this world with unconditional love. That's it. They literally shit their pants and we're happy. Like, you know, my kids, because they were breastfeed, and I don't give a shit how you feed your kids, so let me be clear on that. But because my kids were breastfeed, there is not a lot of waste product. So they used to only shit like once every 10 days. And I used to get excited when they would do a poo. So weird. But then they turn like 2 or 3 and you're trying to toilet train them. So this kid sees a mum who's so excited that they're pooing, wherever they're pooing, whether it's on me, in the bath, wherever. And then all of a sudden they're 3 and they do a poo in their pants, which we've joked about with them for the last 3 years when we're toilet training, or 2, or however old they are when you toilet train. And now all of a sudden they're in trouble for doing that, or they're being called gross or something. And this is where we all fall apart. So everyone started like that. Everyone started with unconditional love, which means there is no conditions on how much we love you. You can shit your pants, spew in our mouths, do whatever you want, and we still love you. And then we start placing conditions on you. That confuses the psyche. That 100% confuses the psyche. And that's where a lot of people's trauma and stuff starts beginning from. We do not understand as a society how important the time from conception to 7 years old is to a child. And I've watched my children, and I know I've not been perfect, but I hope that I can teach them that they are imperfectly perfect. If they make a mistake, I will be their safe space. And I want to be that safe space for you too. I know that I can be that safe space for you too, because I don't even know you, but I see your potential, because I know my potential and I see your potential. So if you're looking for any individual coaching, reach out to me at theparadoxofkindness at gmail.com, and we will tailor a package that suits you and where you're at. And I would teach you how to remember that you are so powerful. I also want you to just cut yourself some slack. And every time you're trying to achieve something in this world and you think that you fail because you take a misstep, I want you to imagine this image. Imagine a baby that is just born that is utterly useless. They are dependent on us for everything. Then imagine that child who is beginning how to roll, how to smile, eventually how to crawl, and how to walk. Think of that child on the days where they have lots of energy and they want to give a go at standing up and trying to walk, even though they fall down a million times. Or the day when they don't have it in them, and so they opt to go back to what they've become proficient at, which is crawling, and they don't even attempt to walk that day. That is you. There are going to be days when you will be absolutely proficient in the things that you are trying to change and they're trying to be and become. And there are going to be days when you just want to go back to crawling because you know you're good at it. I am that space for you that will allow you to crawl and still love you, because we are all the same. You are me. I am you. And as you come to know me, I will teach you more what that actually means. But Jesus said, treat thy neighbor as you would yourself. Love thy neighbor. So when you look at someone and they're not being who you are, and they're doing something that you might not do, and I'm talking potentially, you're a drug addict on the street, just know I guarantee there's an aspect of you that is them. Because we're all connected. It doesn't matter that I look different to you. Because if you cut me open, we are the same. We bleed the same. It is only our physical appearance that is different. And I am here to hold space for you, to dive deep into your psyche and figure out what are your triggers, what makes you do unconsciously, what makes you do the things that you actually don't want to do. Because I know that I often do behaviors that's not my ideal world, but there is something in me, ego, that is stuck to that. And it might be a habit, it might be what you've been programmed to believe that you're only worthy if you perform a certain way. I've performed every way. Like, I literally had it all. Every single tick box. The perfect family, perfect husband, perfect children, perfect life, perfect career. I had it all. And I felt so lonely because I didn't know who I was. I was too scared to make a mistake. And when I did make a mistake, I was too scared of the judgment to own it. And it turned into a whopping mistake. But the thing is, there is no failures. Because if I hadn't have done those things, I wouldn't be here to be able to hold space for you to be you. And that is all I want to do in this world, is hold space for you to feel comfortable to be who you are. Because I don't care who you are. I love you anyways. And yeah, I'm sure that I might have lost a few people by this stage, but I don't even care. Because the people that are meant to find me, they will find me. And with that, I want to tell you to love yourself. Love everyone else. And if you want to work with me, send me an email. My email is theparadoxofkindness@gmail.com. Thank you so much and have a beautiful Sunday. I'm just seeing my beautiful kids rock up right now, so I'm going to go, but thank you so much. Thank you, genuinely. Thank you.